Hallöchen, liebe Freunde. Wir sitzen hier mit dem CEO und Creative Director von Ready at Dawn, Weerasuriya. Und wir haben das Glück, mit ihm ein One-on-One-Interview zu bekommen, in dem wir ihn mit ein paar Fragen löchern werden. Und es geht los. So, hello. It's just about more than a week till the release on The Order 86. So, what are your feelings? Are you nervous, happy, excited?
Yep. Honestly, yeah. I mean, right now, just more than anything, excited, about the journey that we took and that we're so close to basically having the game come out and everybody play it.
So just finally.
It's almost that, but it's a long ride. It's a lot of work actually that goes into this. So it's fun to see that we're gonna be hearing a lot from a lot of people very soon about how they after they play the game, what they think about it.
Yeah. Did you have any special inspiration for the development of the Order, or just like some models, some special games or something like that?
That we got inspiration from? We got inspiration from a lot of things when we made this game. It was it came from history itself. When it came to the story, it came from literature. When it came to even describing the way the world was, we looked at a lot of novels that were written at the time. We looked at photography from that era to actually really understand the grain, how things were, costumes of the time. We look for reference. We took inspiration on gameplay mechanics from games that we've loved, that we've played for a long time, movies that we loved, in the techniques that they use. Honestly, it's amazing. When I look back at it, because it happened over a long period of time. If I look back at it, at the amount of stuff that we actually really drew from, it's been such a vast experience of things that became the foundation of this game. That it's kind of cool to see that. Well, we became kind of researchers for a few years before making this game.
Yeah. So The Order 86 is your first IP. Were you confronted with any problems during the development, or were there even possibilities to gain more ideas? That this is your first IP.
When you create an IP, I think you always have to kind of second guess everything that you do, purely for a reason that you are too close to everything that you do, right? When you create an IP, you think that an idea is absolutely great, but you have to test it out to people. You have to put it out there and have people talk about it and figure out whether it works. So during the development, yes, there were a lot of things that we thought could be cool, things I had written that I really wanted to kind of keep in there, that went through the test of having a lot of people look at it and talk about it, and sometimes almost get close to getting taken out. But as we went through, the best thing that happened was that it was a refinement of the core ideas of the IP. We loved the premise. When the team started working on it, everybody kind of attached to this idea of what this world could be, what this story could be. And because it got tested through our team and people got attached to it, there was really excitement building over time. And that's really when you know that you have something cool on your hands. It's that excitement that you have to go to work and to try and finish this one way or the other.
Yeah. And The Order 86 is exclusively for PS4. Are there already are you thinking about portation to PC or Xbox already?
No, actually, the game is the game. When we decided to sign this game, we came into this knowing what we could do as a studio. In the past, we've tried to maximize the platforms that we're working on, and we've always targeted a very specific platform every single time. And for us, this game, as soon as we wanted to make it, we knew there was only a few people we wanted to talk to. And the main people that we wanted to talk to was Sony, to make it exclusive for PlayStation 4. And the idea behind this was that we knew how we had done in the past, and we knew that we could leverage the power of the new platform. And that's kind of what we've done. So I know that there's a lot of players out there who would love to see it somewhere else, but the goal for us was really to actually push it on PlayStation 4 to make it everything that it could be on that platform.
Yeah. And you waited for 10 years for the PS4 to release this game?
Honestly, sometimes you have to wait. Oftentimes I think over the years, as the studio was growing, we had the chance to sign big projects, but we always kind of took the creative decision to go into the projects that would help us and teach us things. So we always went the route of, okay, here's all the options we could do, but let's try to fix something in the studio that we haven't fixed yet. So technology, working as a team, growing the team, all of that actually took place, and it was really 6 years into it, where in 2010 we had started the studio in end of 2003, beginning of 2004. It was really end of 2010 that we decided it was time. We knew who we were, we knew what we could do, and we also talked to Sony, and we knew that PlayStation 4 was on the horizon, so it felt like the perfect mix at the time.
Yeah. The Order is a third-person shooter. So can you tell us the unique selling point of this game, or why you should or we should buy this game?
I think the unique thing about the Order is number one, its setting, but it's a mix of a lot of things that we actually were able to do for this generation of games. It's an experience. I mean, a pacing of the experience that I think people are not going to expect. People haven't seen before. It's gameplay mechanics that are completely mixed from one moment to the other. It's very emotional moments. It's a story-driven game. It's a visual fidelity that I think we were trying to basically set for what the generation of this generation of games could be. It's a quality of what you see on the screen that I think a lot of people are going to be really excited to see. So honestly, overall, it's about that mix. It's about creating a new experience, creating a new IP with kind of a different feel of the game that will get, I think, players who are core gamers, who love real core combat and difficult mechanics, but also people who love just a story-driven game that want to just kind of enjoy the ride. It was really built with these layers so that everybody could get something out of it.
Mm-hmm. And if The Order 8086 will be a success, are you already planning to establish a franchise of this game, or will this, up to this point, be the first and the last title?
It took a lot of work actually to build this story. Just the story alone took a lot of work, even on things that actually are not told in this story. So all the history before it, the history after it, I needed to wrap my head around everything in order for this story to actually make sense. So, having done all that work, of course there are ideas about other stories, ideas about stories before in the past, stories after 1886, and if it's something that we can explore, I mean, I know that the whole team has many ideas about what they'd like to do with a lot of these stories, and how we could tell them, whether it's in games or elsewhere. So building a world has never been for a start and an end. It's always been about hey, let's nurture this to the point where we can actually draw ideas from it.
Yeah, The Order will be in 1080p and 30 FPS. And especially the fighting scenes and stuff look really like a movie that you can see in cinema and stuff. But can you tell us some reasons why every one of you didn't choose 60 FPS?
The reason why we chose 30, and it's a give and take. It's trading, right? You decide what the game needs to be for the purpose of the gameplay that you're building. For us, it was very important that we looked at what type of game mechanics we were going to build and what was needed in order for those game mechanics to play well for the player who was going to pick up the controller. And it was obvious as we were working on it that 60 FPS would have been great, but not necessary. And by going 30 FPS, we gained a lot of other things. So we traded wherever we want to, but we never sacrificed anything. If we felt that going to 30 FPS would have sacrificed the experience, then we'd have probably decided not to. But the reality was that we never thought that the sacrifice of gameplay mechanics were there. So it allowed us to go and do a 30 FPS game, and build the kind of visuals that we wanted to build, and have that balance of the experience that worked for this game. And oftentimes I think that this discussion about 60 FPS is a good discussion to have, but it also needs to be contextual. People need to understand why 60 FPS is good.
Yeah.
And why it's good is because certain games require it, but certain other games absolutely don't.
Yeah.
And this game we didn't feel like it required the 60 FPS.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, nothing. Okay.
Sorry.
So, okay. So, thank you for the interview.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.